Hi, I'm Catherine Duncan. Welcome. I'm an integrative spiritual consultant, and I help people integrate their mind, their body, their spirit to feel more fully alive. Thank you for joining me today. A few weeks ago, I talked about how you can rewire your negative thinking mind. Today, I am going to talk about suffering. Few of us escape suffering in life. Some of us endure a lot of suffering. Some of us live a life pretty unscathed. And then, we don't quite know the truth of people's lives behind closed doors. My message to you today is we can turn suffering into awakening. Suffering can crack us open. In suffering, we often experienced an enforced stillness and upheaval and unrest. But transformation is optional. I've experienced my share of suffering, living through being a childhood cancer survivor, a near-death experience in my 30s, and losing 5 family members over about 10 years. And I am not unique. Working for years as a trauma and hospice chaplain, I have witnessed a lot of suffering. I have been with many people at end of life and dying. I have been with many family members deeply grieving. And today, in my private practice, one-on-one with people, I work with people that are suffering, that are going through a hard time, that are going through change, transition, just wanting to find more life, more meaning in their lives. And suffering, I would say, has shaped and molded and transformed me and many people that I've been with. And I've also seen people going through suffering that have closed down, that have become bitter, that have just closed off from life. I want to share with you that our thinking ego mind is so powerful. And when we get stuck in our thinking ego mind, it causes more suffering. When we get stuck in our mind, and it's just, can happen so easily, where we're caught in our mind, the past, the future, the many what ifs, it just causes and adds layers of suffering. And the Buddhists have a term for this, the second arrow. The first arrow is when something happens in life, it's out of our control, it causes suffering. And the second arrow is how we deal with it. And it's a lifelong journey. How do you work with suffering when you deal with it? And so how do we keep our mind from causing us more suffering? We can choose to come back to the present moment, to be with our suffering, not letting our mind run us. And that's when awakening can happen. I want to share with you an exercise. It's one of my favorites. I teach a lot of exercises, and this is one of my top favorites. It's something I have done for many, many years. And I have found it really helpful if you're suffering, if you're struggling, if you're feeling stress, tension. So if you're willing to join me for 1 minute, in this exercise, I hear now it's called self-soothing exercise. I invite you to join me. So I'd invite you, if you're sitting, standing, feel the weight of your body being supported by the floor, the chair. I might, invite you to close your eyes so you're not distracted, and put your hands over your chest area. And just feel the warmth of your hands. Our bodies respond to physical touch. As you breathe in and breathe out, can you feel your chest, your heart area starting to soften? And just noticing what is there in this moment as you breathe in and breathe out. And you can add a loving kindness phrase. May I be at peace, or you could say, be with me. As you breathe in and breathe out for the next few moments. So that was about 1 minute. Curious, your thoughts. How was that? Do you have a practice that you really like? Love to hear. You can put a message below. Send me a message. And I just want to share, it often takes suffering to open us to this moment. And if we can be present with our suffering, we can be open, we can awaken, we can live more deeply. So thank you for joining me. Look for more upcoming Facebook Live talks. Love to hear from you. A message below. Send me a message, learningtolive.org. Peace be with you. Bless you.